here talking about yourself.
My name is Barry Oostwal. I'm the director for the GDYO Jazz Institute. I'm originally from the Netherlands, where I was born and raised. I moved to the US to be involved with some drum and bugle corps stuff. And then I met a trombone teacher I wanted to study with, did my master's and undergrad in Wisconsin, and now live here in Dallas.
So jazz is often named jazz, music of America, because it's born in New Orleans, where you have the crossing of different cultures. You have the whites and the blacks, and then the Creoles came out of that. And that could have only happened in the United States because of the mix of cultures. That is what's unique about America, and that's what's unique about jazz, and that's how jazz is America's music. GDYO in their strategic planning had the idea of expanding and reaching students that want to study jazz is not something that GDYO connected with. So they were interested in starting a jazz program, and because I had that experience, I put together a proposal, and they said, let's do it. Now we're here.
Actually, you guys want to do my personal comment, or almost like being left? Jazz is a great metaphor for life, as far as improvising, going with the flow, just listening to other people. You can't play jazz by yourself with your ears closed. You need to be listening and reacting to everybody else that's in the group. So it's all about teamwork. It's all about working through anything that happens. As a team. Let's do as minimal comping rhythmically as possible, just so that it's really obvious. So you really hear it.
The F minor 7 just turns me off each time.
Oh, no worries. Cool. Let's do it again. Let's take it second half of the melody. At any one given point, there's maybe a solo, like maybe a saxophone player is soloing. Even though we're calling it soloing, they're actually kind of playing duets with the drummer and quartet with, they're playing with everybody else. Everybody's listening to each other. So it's not just about the individual. You know what I mean? It's about the whole. And those lessons translate into life. You learn how to be, even if you don't want to be a professional jazz musician, you learn how to work with people, you learn how to go with the flow, you learn how to be a leader, you learn how to be a follower, you learn all kinds of skills. And in this GDYO specifically, you're networking with other musicians in the area. That's great. You're building connections with other people, you're learning how to play with people that you've never played before. It's a great program.
I come from North Mesquite High School.
Hello, I'm Arnav Saxena. I played the tenor trombone. I'm 16 years old and currently a sophomore at Capel High School.
Stiff but good. It's a good relationship. They are great instructors. All the way they come down here to the UNT. Great instructors. Some of them are really nice. And some of them are, very strict.
Right. Am I right?
You are right.
I'm right. Thank you.
But we need both ends of the spectrum to, get through to different people.
So those students make it into our program. Then what we want to provide is a fun environment where students can play with like-minded peers and learn from the best that the city has to offer as far as instructors. Have fun first and foremost. If you don't have fun, it's not worth it. And then just play in a high caliber groups and with strong instruction to become a stronger jazz player, which then hopefully you can take back to your band program, which then becomes stronger, and vice versa. You should be happy.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
what jazz is. Jazz is a very weird word. Jazz means a lot of things, and people call a lot of things that aren't jazz, jazz. And it's tricky because jazz shouldn't have a name. Jazz is a spirit more than a genre.
I think there is just even in the US, or in the US even more than some parts of Europe, there's a cultural misunderstanding that jazz is for hoodlums who just do stuff, and those are the kids that get in trouble in orchestras because they just want to play notes. There is a big misunderstanding of that, and even within GDYO, within the organization, there's a little bit of that. You have the orchestral bubble. If it's not orchestral, then it's not real. Where really, if you get into it and appreciate music, then you'll find that quickly that jazz is a higher level of playing music. Much more comes into it than just playing what's on the page. Now, I don't mean to minimize orchestral playing, because that is impressive by itself. But in the defense of jazz, it is a high art form. It's very difficult, and a lot of personal practice goes into that. And that misunderstanding within the music community between orchestral and jazz, if I just use those two examples, it is difficult for me to understand that because I am not into rap music too much, or country and western, but I can really appreciate it, right? I can say, I probably won't put it on in the car, but that is really good, right? And I'm surprised by some of the barriers that are, till today, are still up. If a classical person that is only classical, a jazz person, only jazz, would talk about music, they will love the same stuff. So the labeling, I think, and the misunderstanding or the misuse of labels, I think, is a huge problem. No matter where you go, how you go. Oh, you're Asian? Oh, then you must think this and this. Oh, you're a bald white guy? You must think this and this. That doesn't work like that at all, right? We might agree on things, we might disagree on things. But if those labels are gone, it will be much easier to connect on things.
I think just through the education and exposure, through the faculty, through playing together as a group, through meeting new people, all these different high schoolers are meeting that they don't play together before. They're all from different high schools, and now they're coming together to make a group. I think just those experiences are what's going to help move jazz forward.
Yeah, if there's one defining element to American music and American culture, I would say that it is jazz, because jazz is 100% like American music right now. It originated here, and it's really grown and developed in America and become what it is today.
I strongly believe that we therefore should, as Americans, embrace jazz. You don't have to love it, but you should embrace it. Because that's what we need to do as Americans, or as residents of the U.S., to live together. And I think it has to become the best thing ever. The things that any of your cultures can bring to the table, or that my culture can bring to the table, I want to be a part of it. I want to learn about that. That doesn't mean that takes away from me as my identity. It enriches my identity.